Iconic actor Kevin Costner did not think twice about leaving hit show Yellowstone to pursue his love of Western films. Well, his new movie, Horizon, an American Saga, which he directed, arrives in theaters on Friday. Here's what he had to say about his new venture.
What an absolute pleasure to be chatting with the one and only Kevin Costner. How are you today, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, let's start with this new film, Horizon. One of the things that my executive producer and I were talking about is Kevin is such an excellent horseman. When did that passion start for you?
I think early on, the idea of this big old animal, if you could get on him and hold on, he could take you to places unknown. For a kid, the idea of having something take you out of your environment, a horse was it.
That's right. Well, you know what? The film received a 7-minute standing ovation in Cannes at its premiere. What does that say about viewers to you, Kevin, and this sort of film?
I think when we go into the theater, we don't want to know everything that's going to happen. And when they sat down, they didn't know what kind of movie I had made. And, from the very first image, when a stake goes into the ground, I could see the audience just start leaning into the journey, because it's a journey movie. It's not a plot movie.
Yeah, it's very obvious and cool that you have a passion for Western films. Is that true?
Well, I do, but only ones that are good, and not very many are. They're hard to make. Sometimes they're too obvious or too simple, and Black Hat, White Hat doesn't interest me, and movies that don't portray Native Americans in an honest way don't interest me, and actors that aren't behaving in ways that I would understand a man or woman to act, I'm just not interested in them.
Yeah, you bring up a valid point. One of the things that came to me as I was watching, could this movie be for both men and women? I really like the characters and the reality behind each character when we're talking about men and women in those days.
Yeah, there was an original one written in 1988, which was two guys and a woman, and when I started to re-engineer it with John Baird, it was shocking how important women became. Women dominate all my scenes.
And I think that is so fascinating to watch on the big screen. Okay, I know you have ties to Colorado. So many breathtaking locations in this first chapter of the film. Will we be seeing any of this here in Colorado?
We'll be seeing one thing in chapter 2, and I saw it yesterday. There's all of it's been shot in Utah, but the one scene that's outside is to my beloved Colorado.
Oh my gosh, we can't wait, and we'll be looking out for that. Okay, another question that I think on a lot of people's mind is the first chapter is releasing next week. What can you tell us about the rest of the chapters? I know there's a lot of footage here.
Yeah, well, the second one is done. I saw it Saturday. I'm currently shooting the third one. It gets harder for the people. It gets harder. And all the things that you see, it doesn't get easier for them. This wasn't a land in Disneyland. This was something that for 200 years, 300 years, people had to negotiate it without law, without anything but their wits. And it can be really entertaining that way. I mean, people are falling in love. We see noble acts. We see heinous acts. It gets harder. That's what I can promise you. This was a real moment in time, and there were ugly moments and there were noble moments.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Kevin. We're looking forward to seeing the rest.
And you can catch Horizon, an American Saga, Chapter 1 in theaters tomorrow.